Hey guys, so today I had an interesting video. So I was thinking about this for a while. You know, in Dawn of Perim, there was a Underworld and a Overworld starter deck, but no Danian and Mipedian. So I kind of thought of a way to build Danian and Mipedian decks, and I've actually put them together, and I have a criteria set up so it closely matches what a Overworld and Underworld starter deck would come with. So, the Danians rely on the elements of earth and fire. Their stats mainly were power and courage. So the creature types you want to run for this starter deck would be Mandiblores and the creatures with elements. So there's quite a bit of that. Then we have Mipedians. Their elements were wind and fire. Their stats are wisdom and courage based. And the creature types you want to run are the ones with invisibilities and other creatures with elements. So in starter decks, the cards are commons and uncommons for the most parts, but with Dawn of Perim, it's a little bit harder to do that for the Danians and Mipedians and have something that's actually playable and not just a crappy mishmash of creatures that doesn't really work in your favor, and it just doesn't run well. So this is the criteria I've come up with. So for creatures, you have common, uncommon, and one rare. That applies to both decks. Attacks are common, uncommon, same as both decks. Music was 3 common, 2 uncommon, and 1 rare. I had to throw in rares in these because it's the only way to let them have any support and actually do what they're intended to do, essentially. Battle gear, common, uncommon, and I just scrolled it up. And locations are common, uncommon, and 2 rare. Now, the 2 rare are a location that's designed for them. So that's why it's 2 rare, because there's 5 sets of 2, essentially. So Danians, we have Kanan, Wama, Laud, Ibian, Hoda, and Galen. Music is Chorus of the Hive, Minor Flourish, Geoflourish, Decrescendo, Song of Symmetry, and Song of Resistance. With the locations being Mount Pillar, which there's 2 copies, Gloomuk Swamp, 2 copies, Runic Grove, 2 copies, Eye of Maelstrom, 2 copies, and Forest of Life, 2 copies. So Mount Pillar is your rare in that. Battle gear, I have this laid out to where it shows what creature beside it gets the battle gear. With Magician's Lyre is with Kanan, Motorcycle with Laud, Vlark Shard with Ibian, Vile Driver for Hoda and Wama, Ring of Naran, Galen. Attacks. So I know attacks generally are 20 points. In the starter decks, come to find out they only use 14 points. So I decided I would stick to that formula and only do 14 points. So our attacks are Ectospasm, and all of these there's 2 of these attacks. Ectospasm, Shadow Strike, Shriek Shock, Spirit Gust, Ember Swarm, Inferno Gust, Ash Torrent, Vine Snare, Lightning Burst, Thunder Shout. So your strategy for this deck is Kanan's the one that activates Hive, and all the Mandiblore abilities trigger. So you're wanting to make sure you have plenty of music so you can keep it going. Mipedians, this is this deck build. Marquis Darini, which is the rare of this one. Kanan was the rare of the other one. Brave, Beyondu, Malvadine, Zaid, and Oro. I'm sure somebody will be surprised I'm not running Ciato, but I thought this was about the best build you can do with this. So the music you use is Song of Recovery, Trills of Diminution, Melody of Mirage, Minor Flourish, Ember Flourish, and Decrescendo. So there are some similarities. Locations, like I said before, there's 2 of each one. Mipedium Oasis, which is the rare one because it applies to Mipedians. You have Crystal Cave, Forest of Life, Runic Grove, Ravenel Ridge. Battle gear, you have Vile Driver for Marquis Darini, Ring of Naran for Broth and Oro, Staff of Wisdom for Beyondu, Elixir of Tenacity for Malvadine, and a Torwig for Zaid. Attacks, 2 of each, like before. You have Ectospasm, Shadow Strike, Shriek Shock, Spirit Gust, Inferno Gust, Ember Swarm, Ash Torrent, Unsanity, Lightning Burst, and Torrent of Flame. So the goal with this one is Invisibility, Strike, and Surprise. So Marquis Darini, his ability is that creatures you control with invisibility deal an additional 5 damage during their first attack. And that helps out with invisibility already, because I believe majority of these have invisibility. There might be one that doesn't. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look over it again. But that's the whole point of that. So I'll make a separate video showing the cards themselves. I just wanted to kind of get this one out of the way so you could kind of see the formula for it. So that's all for this one. I'll see you guys next time.